What's up, Dre from Deviant Vision Photography and Deviant Vision Magazine. You got me all flustered, man. I'm nervous. I'm stumbling over my words already. Right here, episode 2 of Deviant Downtime, and we have a very special guest, music video producer, guitar luthier, guitar shredder. I don't know. I haven't heard you play in a while, so I'll have to check that out. Mike Sloat from Sloat Guitars. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. My playing has gone so downhill, it's embarrassing.
You're busy doing other stuff, man. More important things, I guess. More lucrative, financially lucrative things.
I'm joking. I shred.
Yeah, see, I knew. I can see in the back. I can just see all that.
Yeah, how can I not?
Back, man.
If I don't, I'm a total poser, right?
Yeah, right? There you go. And you know what Bayloff says. So good to see you. For those of you who do not know, this is episode number 2. Last episode, we had Dylan Waltz on, who is also a Bay Area musician. And we're running a theme here, man. I want to do something special to kick off this whole podcast thing. I have a lot of friends that I grew up with that are doing some big damn things that are really cool to see. Where we came from, going through high school together, playing in parties and garage bands and stuff like that. And the next thing I know, dude, I'm looking at MTV and I see directed by Mike Sloat. I'm like, wait, what? So
Crazy.
That was kind of a cool thing to see, man. What happened after high school? How'd you get into the music production thing, the video music thing?
I floundered after high school trying to figure out what to do. I thought we were going to be pro musicians on tour, right?
Of course.
And my fallback was like graphic arts. So I took a bunch of art, a bunch of music, the music theory stuff. I hated it. Graphic arts, I hated it and I was terrible at it. So then I met my wife, took a year off and just, worked on, some crappy job, and was writing down stories and just things that I thought would be cool visually, and borrowed a friend's video camera and just started shooting stuff and just got really into it. So then I started shooting punk and metal bands around Sonoma County, and it just kind of kept going from there. So then I started taking film classes at the Santa Rosa Junior College, got really into it. And I was just completely hooked at that point, and was still playing in bands and stuff, but I was definitely, getting more into video production than anything else. Then I transferred from the JC to the Academy of Art, and it was just all over at this point. Cause then we're editing on, this is the mid 90s and digital videos coming out, and it's the new big thing. We're editing on digital video edit suites and shooting with real film, which was amazing. Looked incredible. Yeah. So that's how I got into it. And then met some dudes in film school. We started a production company when we graduated around 96, 97, and just kept going, just kept, bringing in anything we could. And specifically music videos, I feel like I started actually doing them around 2000, I would say, where we were actually bringing in work, like paid work to do music videos. Then I started building a demo reel on my own. We shut down the company, moved to LA, did the whole LA thing for 3 years, which was such a drag.
It's like awful.
It's just the worst.
Only people that live in LA or people that decide to stay in LA.
Oh, God. It was rough. It was a rough 3 years trying to make that happen down there. I was coming back up here to Northern California. I had so much more work up here than I did down there. And, I drug my wife and my daughter down there to try to be a music video director. And I'm gone half the month back up here where they love it, where our families are. And yeah, so that lasted 3 years till it was like, plus I had, I made such bad business decisions down there, like who I was going to be in business with, who I was going to be a director for. I was with 4 or 5 production companies that all went out of business within 9 months of me signing with them.
Wow.
So I would sign, they would either do nothing for me or get me a video or two, and then would be out of business in the middle. 3 of them went out of business in the middle of jobs, in the middle of me producing something for them. When the final one went out of business, it was like, let's get out of here. I've got so much more work up north. Let's go. Let's get out of here. And I'll keep in touch with my LA people, but life is so much better in Northern California than down in LA. That's what we found.
Agreed. That's awesome. So what's your process like, man, when you have, do artists come to you as far as the music video? Do the artists come to you with an idea, or they like, hey, we have this song, we need a producer, give us something. And then you come up with an idea for the video. How does that whole process work?
It's every variation of the process. It's usually they have a spark of an idea, and then me and my team will take it further. That Machine Head video that we just did, we did 2 Machine Head videos a few weeks ago. One just came out last week.
That phenomenal.
One was so Rob from Machine Head always has ideas. He always has something in his head of what he wants to see. For the first time ever, he was like, I don't know what I want to do. And we're like, whoa, that's weird. And he's like, I don't know. Maybe something, I don't know, AI shots or this or that. I don't know. Let's just keep it loosey-goosey. And I'm like, my producing partner, Jason, and I are like, dude, we can't go into a, big production loosey-goosey. We got to know what we're doing. We got to prep. We got to do all the right things or it's going to be a disaster. So that one was like, okay, well, there's someone suggested a big video wall, like the way they shoot The Mandalorian. If you ever see that, they do the big virtual stage where it's a big video wall, super high res, and you put things in front of it. You put practical props, that the actors are interacting with or whatever, or you put it in virtually, whatever. So there's one of those down in, Pleasanton that John Madden built. He never liked traveling, so he built this state-of-the-art production facility. So anyway, getting off topic, but basically, it's always different. Every band is different. I've got another band, Corvus Lore, who's from the South Bay, who I would say I pretty much co-direct with the singer because he always has a really clear, he'll send me a shot list of I really want to see this, this, and this. And then I make the shots happen and I put them together and we tweak it a little bit. So I would say it's very rare that a band has no idea what they want to do. It's usually some little spark of an idea.
You just roll with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's similar to the photography thing. That's the same thing I kind of go through with models. I'll have ideas and it's like, hey, I need a model. You want to do this for me? But most of the time, most of the ideas, most of my best shoots, looking around, the models come to me. They're like, hey, I saw this on Instagram. I don't want you to copy it, but I have this inspiration from it and we'll roll with it like that. And my favorite shots are probably spurred from the model coming to me and be like, hey, can we do this? I'm like, yeah, I'll figure it out. It's cool. It's a cool feeling.
And when we're on a shoot, things change drastically or maybe a little bit, but then you start getting another spark of, oh, we should do this and this and this. And that always happens. And I feel like my crew and I work really well under pressure when there's just a little bit of an idea, okay, this kid's on drugs and he goes to sell drugs and then it goes bad. Okay, how are we going to do that? And then we just do it and it comes out cool.
So how long have you been with this team? How long you guys been together?
So when I was talking about my production company that I had in the city, we closed down in 2002. My current producing partner, Jason, had a production company in Katati. And he let me kind of squat there and bring all of our gear and finish up some projects. And we've been working together since, 2002. So 23 years with him. And then our current crew, it's very small. I mean, we are DIY all the way. So if there's 3 of us on a crew, we're all doing everything. Like that Machine Head video we just did. We did 2 videos at once. The one that already came out and then I'm working on the other one now. That was big production it was me, Jason, our gaffer, Ed, and 2 PAs. So there's 5 people behind the scenes doing that. And then, the stage where we shot had 3 or 4 people doing their thing. But, we try to keep it small because our budgets aren't huge. Music video budgets used to be so big and now they're, I think for Machine Head, we just did 2 videos for under $50,000. So
it was a cool video. It was a nice throwback to just, performance videos.
Right.
And that was kind of cool. Cause when we were growing up, it was just cool to see cats on stage playing.
Totally.
I don't care about the story about Ricky was a young boy and in jail. I don't want to see that. I want to see him on stage. How is he playing it? Let's go,
Yeah, right. Yeah. I wanted to know where is your hand on the fretboard? Yeah. I totally wanted to know that.
Yeah. So that was cool. So you mentioned Machine Head. You've also done some work with Testament, which is what blew me away was the fact that you, along with like Dylan, you guys have just ended up in this clique with people that we grew up listening to and going to see at shows and stuff, man. So it's really surreal for me from the outside looking in. I'm proud of you guys, and I've told you guys both that a lot. That it's cool to see that and know it's like, hey, these are friends of mine, and they're on the direction that we were on in high school. It just might not be being on stage and at Hammersmith rocking it out, but we're still part of it, which is really cool.
It is cool. It's fun.
How did you get involved with? How did you even get hooked up with Testament and Machine Head? Did you reach out to them and be like, hey, I know it's all Bay Area and we're loyal in the Bay, man. So
right, yeah. So with Machine Head, 2002, 2003, I was directing for a company down in LA. We're still living up here, directing for a company down there. And my first big major label gig came in. It was a small video for this band called Finger Tight. I think they were from the East Bay. We were shooting in Oakland, and my director's rep was like, hey, I got this manager he's looking for a director for the band Machine Head. Do you know him? I'm like, oh yeah, I know who they are. And he said, well, he wants to come by your shoot. He's in Oakland. He wants to come by the shoot and just talk to you and see if, working with them would be a good fit. So the manager, Joseph, super nice guy, comes by and we're talking, and it just kind of worked out that it's hard to explain. So they had been dropped by their label. They were in a really rough time. The singer, Rob, was thinking about, going to, I think it was Drowning Pool had lost their singer. He was thinking about joining up with them. So the band, the Machine Head, was in a really bad spot. They decided to push forward and make this new album, which turned out to be incredible, Through the Ashes of Empire.
Through the Ashes, yeah.
Such a good album. And that brought them back. So we ended up doing a video together. And that started our relationship. That was 2002, I think, maybe 2003. I forget. It's been over 20 years since we've been working together. But then through Joseph, their manager, he had a short time where he was helping out managing Testament. And he was like, hey, could you get a small crew together and come down to San Jose and do this little club gig that Testament's going to do? We'll just do, shoot a bunch of stuff and see what we get out of it. So I go down there, met Chuck and met Eric, and shot this, this little club gig of Testaments and put some stuff together. And they're like, oh, it looks really good. You should do the making of our album. So we put that on the back burner. And then Chuck wanted to talk about doing a video for their new album that was coming up. And it was the song Native Blood. So it was very personal to him. And he wanted to shoot it at the reservation up in, where is it? Hopland, up north. So he had all these ideas, and we started going back and forth and crafted this story about Native Americans losing their land and trying to stand up to the man, that kind of thing. So we shot that at the same time. I was going into the studio with them, shooting the making of their album, getting rehearsals and all sorts of anything we could, just gathering tons of footage to make a making of the album, Dark Roots of Earth. So that's how that came around. And that was a while ago. That was like 13 years ago. So I've kept in touch with them. Chuck had a couple of side projects he wanted to do, so I've done those with him. Eric Peterson, the guitar player, has, what's his side band? Dragon something, I can't remember. But I did the making of his album, edited a music video for him. So yeah, and now we're doing, we started shooting the making of their new album, their current album that they're working on. 2 years ago, so they were on tour in Europe when COVID hit, and they got hit hard. They were in Italy when Italy was the epicenter of everything that was going wrong. So they all got it. They all flew home. They were all sick. That was when Will from Death Angel was like in the hospital on his deathbed because of COVID. But so they had to cut that short. And a year later, Eric called me and he wanted to do a video album to promote the new tour. So they were going to try to pick it up and, where they left off. And I'm like, what's a video album? He's like, I want to do a music video for every song on the album. I'm like, oh, count me in. How the hell are we going to do that? So he booked a studio in San Francisco. I came in and directed and shot along with a couple of the guys that were shooting. And we made 11 music videos. We shot 11 videos in 3 days. And then it took, I think that was like in February 2022. I think I finished all 11 by June, maybe May or June. So months and months of just editing and editing. And it was a really cool project too. It was so fun. I mean, 11 music videos for, so now I've done 12 music videos for Testament. That's crazy.
That's.
Uh-oh.
Really? That's all right. See? Fuck.
Show who's boss.
Oh.
But then that's also led to like ZETRO from Exodus, getting to know him a little bit, working with him and his sons in their band. That was always cool. So I was a huge Exodus fan for a while. Yeah. And getting to know him has been pretty cool. Yeah.
That sucks that he's not there anymore.
I know. It's so weird.
I don't have a problem with Rob. I mean, not
Rob's
at all.
Rob's a killer frontman. He is good.
They did some really, really good stuff with Rob. So I'm excited to see what they come up with. But it's, it's sad to see ZETRO go again.
Yeah. He'll do something. He's motivated. He's cool.
But hey, maybe he won't. Maybe he'll just chill.
Maybe.
Been doing it a long time.
True. Probably in his 60s at this point.
Yeah. We're getting there, man. Yeah, I keep forgetting you're younger than me.
By how much? Not much.
I think a year. I think you're just a year younger than I am.
Are you turning 55 this year?
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, really?
End of the year. Yeah. December 20.
Yeah. That's right. It was only a month.
Right.
November 29th.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
that's what it was. It was only
it's a month. Scott, then you, then me. Scott's 55 before me too. We have a joke in our metal band that we're all born the same year. And Kent, our other guitar player, and I are born same year, same day. But Corky, our drummer, his birthday, I think it was just in January. So we give him so much shit that he's the old man. And he's like, maybe 8 months older than us, but we give him a lot of shit for that.
So is the King Must Die still together? You guys still jamming?
Still playing. We lost our singer he's been so sick for years, and the sickness just kind of took him over, and he can't perform anymore, which is such a bummer because he was our guy. It's been the same 5 of us since the beginning. But so we've been playing with Bill Scheffler. Do you know Bill from Hellbender?
Yes.
Dollar Bill?
Yeah.
He's been coming in. He thought, he could do a side project. So he's been coming in. So we did a fundraising show for our singer because he's got crazy health bills, medical bills. So we did a fundraising show for him. And we had all these singers from local bands come up and do our songs with us. And we were listening probably a year and a half ago. We were listening to the rehearsals from that. Like, who can we steal? Who's out there? So again, we heard, this guy and this guy. We get to this one. We're like, oh, wow, this is really good. Who is this? And it's Bill. And we're like, so I jokingly texted him, hey, when you're done with that stupid band of yours, we need you. And he was like, okay. That was it, joking around. And then we saw him, I think last year, probably about a year ago, we saw him at a show at the Flamingo here in Santa Rosa. And Scott went up to him and they just started talking. And Bill was like, well, so what days do you guys practice? We're like, just Wednesday, middle of the week, once a week. He came the next week and we were like, he's the guy. He's got it. He's got the rhythm. He's got the flow. He's got the attitude. Everything is just right with him, except he's in another band. But yeah, so he's been coming and we've got like 4 or 5 songs down. We're trying to get 1 or 2 more and then we can start booking some shows. It's been a long time. We haven't played a show since 2019.
That'll be fun. Tell Scott I said hi.
I will do that. In the meantime, we've been playing in a cover band with 2 friends. Scott and I were the metal guys. We joined up with our 2 friends that were old punk rock guys, and we're playing 80s songs now.
I've seen the ads.
I don't know how it worked, but it's so fun.
It's working, right?
It's a total blast.
That's cool.
Never thought we'd be playing these kind of songs, but we do it in our style and we do them, I think, really damn good. And it keeps us sharp. Speaking of shredding, I am such a better player now, I think, because we've been playing these songs. I've never tried to play pop songs like that, new wave songs. I've learned so much. I feel like I'm a way more solid player now, which is really nice.
It's more than just power chords.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So it's a little bit different, the musicianship aspect of it. I've done it. I played drums in couple cover bands. I play guitar in one cover band. I'll never do it again unless it's like a rock cover band doing like Maiden stuff and I'm playing rhythm because I'm not a lead. Let the lead guitarist do his thing and I'll stand back here and just keep everything leveled down.
Nice.
But I'd like to do it again. I'm in upstate New York with a bunch of old heads now, so I'm trying to find some old dudes that want to play old AC/DC or something like that.
Right. It's fun, man, just to keep playing.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Do my own thing, but if I can get out and play with somebody, that'd be awesome. So before we get out of the onto your other profession, so your videos, you've done several with Testament, several with Machine Head. So even outside of those, if they're not part of this equation, what is your proudest moment as far as a video music producer? Your video you're most proud of?
Probably the first one I ever had on MTV, which was a Santa Rosa band called the Velvet Teen, who still around, and just an incredible band, such talented guys. But they were the first video I ever got on MTV. It was on 120 minutes in, I want to say, September 2002, and we had just shot it. So they're a Santa Rosa band. I was closing down my production company. I was still trying to build my demo reel. And I called up my friend, the guys that I'm playing with in the cover band now, Luis and Joey, and then another friend, Ben. I called them up and was like, who's a really good Santa Rosa band that you think needs a video? And they all said, oh, the Velvet Teen. They're going to be huge. They're incredible. Such talented dudes. So I got on their MySpace page.
That's just aged us.
I know, but it was 2002. But MySpace used to have a little audio player in the top right-hand corner. So I went to their MySpace page. I hit play on the first song, and it's a song called Radiapathy, which has been in every playlist I've ever had since that day because it's such a killer song. But I play it, and I've got my headphones on. My partners, we're closing down shop. We're trying to pack things up, and I'm sitting at my desk listening to this. And I'm like, oh my God. And I stand up. I'm like panicking practically because this song is so good. I have to do a video for this song. I'm just like, how do I get a hold of these guys? So I sent them a message on MySpace and I'm like, oh God, please don't let them have done a video for this song or want to do another video for a different song or whatever. So I panic for like 24 hours and then I get a message from them. They're like, yeah, cool, whatever. Yeah, we could do that. And I'm like, yes. So I spent $1,000. I told them I would pay for everything. I'm building my demo reel. I just want to do it all on my own. I had this idea. I don't know if you know the artist David Hockney, but he used to take hundreds of photos. He would just stand in one place and snap a bunch of photos and then put them together as one big picture.
Yep. Yeah.
I thought it'd be. Yeah, exactly. And I thought, how cool would it be to do a video like that? And I had never seen one like that. And then I wanted to incorporate like the performance part of it. I wanted to do like a matrix thing where you've got 6 cameras lined up and you're cutting to each camera really fast to give it a jerky motion, like a movement. So I pitched them this idea. They were like, yeah, sure, whatever. So we went to, I remember Friedman Brothers on Mendocino Avenue.
Yes.
They had closed it down. It was this big empty parking lot and, home repair store. And so I got a permit and we shot all around there. We used 6 really crappy little DV cameras. And it took me, probably 5 months to take all these, I think we used 6 cameras altogether. So there's like 3 up here, 3 up here, place them together, sync them up. It was just a ton of work, but it came out really cool. And the label was like, they were on a really small label in Seattle or Portland. And the guy at the label was like, I have to figure out how to get this on 120 minutes. And he did. I don't know what he did, but he sent it in. He hounded people. And the day that I was driving down to LA to physically hand out 3/4-inch videotapes of my demo reel to try to get signed, it debuted that night. I got to LA to my friend Chris's house, unpacked, sat down, turned it on. I was sure I missed it, turned it on, and there it is, directed by Mike Sloat. I'm like, oh my God, the timing couldn't have been any better. It was perfect. It was really cool.
As I could imagine. That's That's dope, dude.
Yeah,
I know how I felt the first time I saw your name come across when I saw it was the Native Blood video.
Oh, really?
No, it was something else. It was something before that. It was a Machine Head video before that, I think. And it popped up. And I think I freaked out. I told him, I was screaming at my ex-wife. I was like, I know him. I know him. I think I know him. I was slick. How do you what's your approach as far as the storytelling, as far as between performance videos and kind of like the storytelling videos?
I mean, again, it starts with the band, what they want to see. But we usually just approach it like a short film. I don't really try to make anything fit into a time frame. We just want to shoot it and get the performance from the actors that we really want, or from the band, and then worry about timing later. But yeah, it always starts with the band. And conceptually, it's like, what do you guys want to see? What's the vibe of the song that you want to get across? But yeah, we approach it like a short film. Like it's like we're making a short film.
So you being a guitarist, you got to be honest now.
Maybe.
No, you being a guitarist, when you're doing performance videos, do you have not really a bias, but do you think that you have a better idea of what guitar players want to see when they're watching a guitar player on a screen?
I don't think I ever really approach it as a guitar player. I approach it more as like a musician who has watched a ton of music videos and knows how musicians are ego-wise, and that everyone needs to get their place. You know, everyone needs to be viewed the same. A singer is the front man. They're going to get the most, face time on a video. But I try to, I line up my shots in my timeline, and I try to stair step. This is drums, bass, guitar, singer. I try to stair step it equally all the way across. So no one's, but then, you've got the guitar solos. You've got to give the guitar player more time and stay on the fingers and get all the crazy guitar player face, in there. But I always approach it like everybody wants to see themselves. Everybody needs equal time. Don't want to hurt anybody's ego.
And there's some kid out there that plays one of those instruments and wants to see that person.
Right.
It was always fun. I used to watch videos and it's like, I can't see who I want to see.
Yeah.
That was my frustration, to be honest, about Metallica's, the tour, the round stage thing. Because we just went to the tour. It was awesome. The show was great, but it was like we only saw a third of the show. Because they're on the other side of the stage.
Is it rotating?
No, they rotate.
Okay.
So they walking to play one song, and James will be over here and Robert will be over here. Lars is kind of where he is, and they're just kind of, so it's not, you don't get the full widescreen view where I can see everybody. And I'm like looking at the stage, and I can see everybody and just kind of scan and see who I want to see. I'm like, okay, I'll watch this cat for a while, but that's not what I want to see right now. Kirk's playing the solo over there.
Yeah.
And I can't see it. But it was cool. The show was fun, but I like the, being able to see everybody at once like that.
It's amazing to me that Metallica used to play little shows around here, and
the
biggest metal band ever.
Yeah.
It's so badass.
Yeah, and you look over at the Exodus show and got Kirk Hammett over here squirting people with water pistols and stuff. You look back on that, dude, it's weird. The Bay is awesome. I don't care what anybody says. I live in New York now, and they can say whatever they want to about New York punk rock and stuff. Bay Area thrash and Bay Area metal, yeah.
Pretty cool to have been there during that time. I mean, how often does that happen, really? All the scene, like the Seattle scene, and like even like the Memphis soul scene in the 60s, like that was a scene, and we had it, and we were there. We saw those guys.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Got Larry Lalonde living down the street from me.
Yeah, right. Totally. We had Exodus at the Katati Cabaret. We had Megadeth at Katati Cabaret. So cool.
Chili Peppers.
Yeah. Totally.
Only the first time I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers was at the Cabaret.
Totally. Yeah.
Dude, that place. Is it still open? Is it still there?
The building's there. It's some kind of spiritual healing place now. I'm not sure what exactly.
Man,
I know.
It's landmarked out. They're not doing shows. They shouldn't be doing anything with it.
Dude, it's such a waste. That place was awesome.
Yeah,
everybody played there.
Everybody. Victim's Family. Primus. I saw Primus. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
We can do that all day.
Yeah.
So, guitar player, music video producer, husband, father, and guitar luthier.
Grandfather.
When did you get into building guitars, man? When did that happen?
So we were living in LA. I hadn't really played seriously in years. The last serious band I was in was Diesel Boy. I was in that band for like a year. It was like kind of a pop punk band. And then decided to go to film school, quit playing music, kind of, I would noodle around every once in a while. Fast forward to we're living in LA it must have been 2005. And Machine Head had shot a live DVD, a concert DVD in London, and they sent me the footage to edit. So it was like 14 cameras, full live show, like a 2-hour show. So I'm editing all this stuff. And like at the end of the edit of like one song, I would export it and I'd have 20 or 30 minutes to wait for it. So I'd started picking up my guitar and playing again. And I got really interested in it. And then I went out for some reason. I went to like Barnes and Noble and got a guitar encyclopedia that was like every guitar I've ever made. And I saw a Telecaster that looked really cool and was like, I started reading about the history of the Telecaster. And it's basically the first electric guitar ever mass produced. And it was built, Leo Fender was never a musician, but a like mad scientist engineer. He was insane. He put a Telecaster together as like a tool, basically. So you could switch out any neck anytime you wanted and put it back together and it's going to play the same. You could change the tuners, you could change the pickups. And I was like, that's really cool. I could build a Telecaster so easily. So I bought parts on eBay from like all around the world, painted it, put it together. And I was like, oh damn, that was easy. And then I was like, well, I know woodworking. My dad's a woodworker. I've learned so much from him. So when we moved back up here in 2006, I bought a bunch of wood, started fiddling around with it, and was like, okay, I'm going to make a Flying V because I never had a Flying V. Love Flying Vs. They're like, put it in your hands, you're instantly looking like a rock star. It's so yep, there it is. Yeah, you got two right there. Huh?
Yeah, I've got my Charbel, and I got this bloody.
Is that?
Hold on.
Wow, what is it? Is it a BC Rich?
No, it's a Torrent. It's a signature model. I forgot which cat it was. Metalcore guy. I forgot his name. But I worked for a third party seller through Amazon, and somebody had returned it, and we get a discount.
Nice. Yeah.
My buddy was like, "Hey, this came in. Do you want it?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll take it."
Sure.
It plays pretty nice. It's not top of the rock or anything, but the Jackson that's my baby.
That's awesome. I love that.
I've been wanting one of
black.
those.
So cool.
Since high school. So continue. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I was like, motivated to build a Flying V. I had read about like the history of the Flying V. Gibson had all their older models in the 50s and they wanted to mix it up and do something weird and crazy. So they came up with the Explorer, the Flying V, and the Modern. So I was researching like the original Flying V, the color, the shape, everything. Oh, look. Here it is.
That's that one.
This is the first one I ever made.
That's awesome.
And it came out great. It plays so good. The neck is pretty fat, but still pretty decent. But it came out good, and I was like, oh man, that wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. So,
what are all the toggles?
Just one for.
Oh, okay. I thought
just one.
Okay, I thought there was another toggle there. It looked like an extra toggle.
Just one, but so that's designed after the original 1958 Flying V. It has an interchangeable pick guard, a black and a white, that I'll,
nice.
Just for kicks, I'll change it every once in a while. So then I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. And then, discovering, oh, wait, EMG Pickups is in Santa Rosa. Yeah. That's right. So there's that. They just closed down, but there was a luthier supply store in Windsor that had everything. I'm like, oh my God, this is like the place to be if I want to build guitars. So I went up and got a bunch of wood from the luthier place and started making 2 more. And by the time I was done with that, I was completely hooked. I started buying all the tools I need. started constantly thinking about what's the next one going to be? What's the next one going to be? I got to make something different, something cool. And then started every once in a while, I'd make one for a friend and surprise them with it. I was at that point just doing flying Vs. I was completely hooked on making the perfect flying V. But yeah, it was something, you know, I've always done woodworking because of my dad. He's always had a big shop in his backyard. Yeah, it was just like in my blood to make something out of wood, and why not guitars? Why not?
Yeah,
you know?
that's
So specializing in flying Vs basically, but I've done all sorts of stuff.
do good work. I've been following your work for a while. You do, and I've already told the wifey. I was like, as soon as we get the finances together, I will be hitting you up for a custom. So
yeah, let's do something cool.
I'd rather get a custom from you than go through one of these big. No. There's love in those guitars, man.
Yeah, we'll make something perfect for you.
Absolutely. So those are your two behind you as well, right?
Yeah, those three are completely from scratch, totally from scratch, from blocks of wood. I'm in my little 10 by 10 office in our backyard. There are 8 guitars in this 100-foot space. It's ridiculous. I've got two of the Eddie Van Halen tributes that I've made out of parts. I got the red, like the Frankenstrat, and I got a Randy Rhoads tribute, like the white and black pinstripe. Yeah, there's guitars everywhere. There's 4 flying Vs in the living room right now. There's a Les Paul. There's in my little shop. Half of our garage is my shop. There's probably 6 guitars sitting in there. There's 2 up in the storage space. There's 1 at the metal band, the King Must Die studio. There's 2 at the cover band studio. It's like,
your kids play?
Yeah, 2 of them. We have 3 girls.
You have all girls, right?
All girls.
God bless you, bro.
Oh, it's great. Oh. The drama is awesome. No, it's totally fine. My kids are awesome. Our middle girl, Lily, she's 18. She's a shredder. I mean, her ear is insane. She'll hear a song and be like, oh, I think it's like this. I got to sit down and look at YouTube to figure out a song. She just hears it and she can do it. It's crazy. We do. And then our youngest plays a little bit too. Her and I built a guitar together, a Strat that is awesome. I've played it live and it's a killer Strat. Like, she designed it. She picked out the color. She did like black hardware with chrome hardware on a white pick guard and a blue body. And it's killer. It is so nice. But yeah, Lily, our 18-year-old, is so ridiculous. Her favorite band is the Eagles. She knows all the solos. She knows the solo to One of These Nights. She knows. So we do a fundraising concert every Christmas to help homeless charities in Santa Rosa. Mm-hmm. And we were rehearsing this past December, and we were doing a song from the movie Anastasia that's called Once Upon a December. And it's in like B minor, and it's got this certain chord progression that was really familiar to me. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, wait, I think that's the same progression as Hotel California. And I'm like, I start playing it and someone starts singing. I'm like, oh, that's it. And Lily's like, I know the solo. Like, you know, the entire solo. She knows it. And I'm like, okay, when we finish the song, we're going to pause for a second. Our niece was singing it and she did a killer job singing it. So we're going to let people rest for a second, clap for her, and then we'll do right? Yeah. Go right into, so she did like half the solo to Hotel California at the end of this Christmas song. And it was like, what? That's what happens when, you know, music nerds get together and start playing.
That thing. Keep music in schools.
Yes.
Keep music in schools.
And then I just noticed she's got my acoustic guitars on her bed. She's got my interface, my recording interface set up on her computer. I'm like, oh, cool. She's working on something.
Nice.
She wrote her boyfriend a song and did a video montage for their 1-year anniversary. Like, okay. Yeah. Keep going. Do it more.
Yep. That's outstanding, dude. On the right track.
Are your kids musical? Do they do anything?
Andrew I think he played bass for a little while, but not really. My sons Ryath and Tristan, they both rap, so I've sent them beats and
Cool.
little grooves, and
Nice.
got back. My son Tristan is well, they're both really, really good, but they're both very different.
Hmm.
I will tell you that you don't want to get roasted by either one of them on a microphone,
Yeah.
because they're heartless. I got into it with a couple entertainers when I exited the business I used to be in, and I got in touch with my sons. I was like, I'm gonna give you guys a groove.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna give you the title of the song, and I'm gonna just tell you what the situation is, and I just want you guys to go. And I've never heard two guys rip an individual. Yeah, it was not good. I was gonna go ahead and post it. I was like, I can't.
Dude, that's great. You got that in your arsenal if you
Yeah,
ever need it.
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's
So
awesome.
you made a custom for Rob from Machine Head? Is that
Yeah, Rob and Phil when Phil was still in the band.
okay?
And they didn't know I was doing it. I was trying to get it to them by their 50th birthdays and by our 20th anniversary of working together, which I missed because building two guitars at the same time is very time consuming.
And life happens. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Rob Phil quit the band 2 weeks later. So his is probably sitting in a closet somewhere, if anywhere. But Rob took his on tour and he plays it for one of their specific song, Darkness Within. I think he brings out the Sloat custom.
Awesome.
It's cool, man. It's like it's different too. It's like it's all like a faux metal look. I basically took their logo, their crest that has daggers and lions, and broke it apart and made it fit in the V shape. And then Rob plays what's it called? Extra long, a really long guitar.
Yeah.
Baritone. He plays a baritone, 6-string. So I made it a baritone. It's like a 20, like I think a Fender scales 25 and a half. A Gibson scales 24 and 3/4. His is like 27 and a half or something like that. So it's deep and just bah.
Booming. Yeah.
So that was cool to make something kind of different. But yeah, I put up a video of giving them their guitars and they were shocked. They were surprised. Rob kind of knew what I was doing, but I didn't know until like maybe 2 years ago. This is probably 4 or 5 years ago that I gave it to them. And a few years ago, we were doing another live thing at their studio. And we went to their storage unit for some reason. People just give them so many guitars. It's just like stacks of guitars that they're like, I don't know what to do with these. I'm just going to put it in my storage unit. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
I hope the Sloat Custom doesn't end up in this pile of garbage.
No, I think you guys have a deeper relationship than
Yeah.
people that are just giving them guitars. So
Yeah.
I think you're safe from that.
Right.
If you had, I mean, who haven't you worked with yet that you would love to work with? If one of these, if you were like, I have my pick to make a video for any artist that I can, who would you want that to be?
Is it too late to say Van Halen?
Okay, we'll do it both ways. No, but that would be cool. That would have been a fun video, dude.
Yeah, totally.
I could have with Dave in the band, with David Lee Roth in the band.
Wow.
Well, that's the only Van Halen, really, isn't it?
Truly. Yeah. I like Sam. I'm okay with Sammy.
I do. It's just different
It
vibe.
is. Yeah, it's a totally different thing. Sammy's a cool guy, though. Dave's gone real friggin' weird, but Sammy is like, a solid, like, happy guy.
Dude, at this point, I'm blaming everything on age.
Yeah.
I know how I am at, 54. So I know I'm blaming everything on age at this point. So
Yeah.
Anybody that we grew up, devil horning to when we were growing up, yeah, dude, I'm pretty much like, yeah, they're about to start going off their nut pretty quick anyway. So
Right. But like current band, if I could work with someone that's out there doing it still, I was trying to get an Exodus video a few years ago and it just didn't work out for whatever reason. And I really thought like Chuck Billy was managing them for a while. I don't know if he still is, but he called me one day and he's like, oh, we need to do a video. This new album's coming out. And long story short, it just didn't happen. And I was really bummed. But I would still, even with ZETRO not in the band, I'd still love to do something with those guys because, God, I saw them, so many times. And they're one of the originals. So,
yeah, it's amazing that Exodus isn't in the big four.
Yeah. It's weird. They're easily just like the big five, right? They're the next one.
Yeah, it's weird that they're not there. It's weird that I mean even Testament. It's so weird to put them in that like there was only these four that did it, and they're so different. And I think
Right.
that was the thing about what it was when we were listening to thrash when it was in its heyday was everybody was different. Everybody didn't sound the same. Destruction
Right.
sounds nothing like Exodus. Overkill
Totally.
sounds nothing like Anthrax. But it seems so oversaturated right now where it's like, who the hell is this?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me read the name of the band. I
Yeah.
can't read the name of the band.
Yep, totally. And the other one that I also thought I was gonna, this is years ago, like 2003, but I was trying to get a video with Death Angel, and it just didn't happen for whatever reason. And yeah, Exodus and Death Angel, I'd love to do a video for one of these days. And they're both still out there doing it.
Saw them last year on that tour, dude. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Seeing my wife freaking headbang to Exodus was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had an introduction because we went to that show and I was like, this is what I grew up with. I walked in and it was just, I was back in high school again, dude.
Right.
And I looked around and everybody our age was kind of in the seated area, watching all the cats out there freaking throw themselves at each other.
Right.
I was like, yeah, nope. It's like everybody you see sitting up here, babe, is my age.
Yeah.
We know better.
Dude.
I got in the pit at Slipknot. No, Lamb of God in 2013. The last time.
Really?
That was the last time I was ever in a pit.
13.
No, wait, I lied. I jumped in the pit at DRI last year.
Really?
For like 5 seconds.
How'd you feel the next day? It was fun.
It was
quick little one round and then.
I was on, yeah. I went around once, got a couple pushes in, but dude, they're in there doing like jump spin kicks and martial art moves and shit. Dude, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm all set. It's not a circle anymore. It's just mass chaos and energy's still there, and it's a good place. I'm glad kids still get to go out and do that, but I'm not a kid anymore.
No, you're not.
So what's next, man? What's on the menu? What do you have? Anything lined up that you're looking forward to? Any other big plans?
Let's see. So video wise, trying to finish the second Machine Head video. So the last one we did was all performance. This one's mostly conceptual. So we shot them at the same time against the big video screen. So this next one's more like slow motion, weirder backgrounds. I'm using an AI video generator to create these weird shots. So it's going to be, more of an artsy fartsy feel for this one. And this is making it up as I go since we were loosey-goosey going into it. So I'm like, okay, all right, now I see a concept. Now that we're a month out from the shoot, and I'm making all these weird AI shots, now I know what the concept is. So trying to get that done before April. We're talking about doing a live video shoot sometime on the next tour with Machine Head. Been shooting the behind the scenes for the next Testament album. We're talking about doing a video album possibly for this album too. Guitar-wise, I just finished an Explorer. It's my third Explorer that I've done. I was building this little deck in our backyard, and the guy I bought the wood from had all these wine barrels that were completely smashed up, but they were stained like amazing purple colors, and they were crystallized with wine. So I took a bunch of them. I'll send you a picture. I took a bunch of them and made an Explorer that's a mahogany body, walnut neck, and then I used the wine barrel slats for the front of the body. So it's really cool. It's very rustic and purple, and it's cool. It's got gold hardware. And the next, I don't really have a next guitar project going. I'm going to make this. My friend Billy gave me a double neck Strat body. So I'm going to do this ridiculous Eddie Van Halen tribute guitar that fades from his Frankenstrat to his black and yellow to his black and white. So it's going to fade across like his different eras. I don't know.
Man.
Something to do. Maybe some collector will want it,
Have you done an Iceman yet?
No, but I play one with the cover band.
That's my dream guitar. I wanted one since I saw Paul Stanley have one like in the 70s. That's
I gotta send you a picture of this because I went into our one of our local music stores, and there was this Iceman sitting right at the front with a sign that said 175.
What?
Why? And I kept looking back at it. I'm getting my stuff. I'm just like, ooh. It was purple shattered glass, purple shattered mirror.
That's the Paul Stanley model, isn't it?
And it has Paul Stanley in the 22nd fret. It says Paul Stanley.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, why is that so? So I sent our singer, Luis, I sent him a picture of it. And he was like, get it. I'm like, dude, what do I need another guitar for? Fast forward 3-4 hours. It's on my doorstep. He went and got it and gave it to me. And I'm like, well, what's the story? He's like, it's made in China. It's one of the cheap China knockoffs. Okay. It's probably not going to do anything for you, but check it out. So I switched out I put some EMGs in it that were push-pull pots so I could coil tap. So I had the Strat sound, and it plays so good. It's got these no-name tuners that are like the best tuners I've ever seen. So I play it live. I've been playing it live for a year and a half. It's a killer guitar. It's like the cheapest, crappiest guitar, and it plays so good. Yeah, I love the Iceman. And our daughter, Lily, the 18-year-old, saw the Iceman shape. She's like, I want to make a shattered glass that's like purple, but the shards are neon green in between. I'm like, I don't know how we do that, but let's do it. Hopefully that'll be a next project that we do. I want to.
That's great, dude.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that, but figure it out. Yeah, exactly.
Get ready to wrap this up, man. It was great talking to you, though. It was doing a lot of good things. I'm more excited about your daughters now, hearing that they're making guitars and playing and stuff, dude. That's kind of cool.
It is.
That's really slick. So yeah, keep up on that.
We do this Christmas concert every year, and it's always like, one of them's always like, do I have to? And then she performs and knocks it out of the park, and everyone's like, that's amazing. You have to do it.
And she's like, it is what it is.
Maybe. Like, are you kidding me?
Sloat Guitar, do you have a website?
Just MikeSloat.com, and then on my contact page, it leads you to the guitars.
Okay. All right. I'll have all this stuff in the show notes and all that kind of stuff on the YouTube page. I'll have a link down there, linking to you and all that stuff.
Awesome.
And hook you up that way. It's nice talking to you, Mike. It's good to see you, bro.
You too. Yeah,
Haven't
it's been a
while. Yeah.
When were you here? You were here a few years ago. We had
Melody and I were just talking about that. 2019.
Shit. That was more than a few. Yeah.
Yep. That was the last time
6 years ago.
Yeah. It's time to come back. My mom's mad at me because I've been to Texas twice and I haven't been to California. So
where is she, in Santa Rosa?
They're in Rohnert Park.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, they're still in Rohnert Park. Yeah, cool. My dad and my sisters and everything, they're all in Santa Rosa, but yeah, everybody else in Rohnert Park.
Okay. Yeah, man, you gotta get back here.
I do. It'll happen. I'll definitely reach out.
Bring your camera. We'll do a shoot.
Dude, we'll do my camera. Weird. I don't go anywhere without my camera.
Of course.
Since 2020, since I got into it.
Yeah.
I got hooked. The only thing that's taken my mind off of it is the fact that I don't have any models where I just moved. I'm still trying to find models to come and shoot. So I have our friend Abby that comes and, every couple weekends or whatever and hangs out for the weekend. They'll get a shoot done or whatever, but I just don't have that core group of models that I had to be like, hey, what you doing? Come over and shoot.
Right.
So I've been doing more landscape. I went out shooting birds today.
Really?
Saw a murder of crows chasing the red tail. I've been on hawk watch because I'm looking for where the traps for when I start doing falconry after I pass my exam. Hopefully I test in April. So hopefully I pass my exam, get a sponsor, and I can start trapping in September.
That's crazy. We actually have, there's a big redwood tree outside my office, like on the other side of the street, that a hawk lives in. And the crows are insane around here. And every couple days, just hear this like just crazy, and they start chasing the hawk, and it's fun to just sit there and watch because it's insane. Like, how many?
And they're not going to do shit. They're just harassing them.
Yeah, they're just
because if the hawk was to turn on one of them, they'd be like, "Oh shit,
right?
Quit playing."
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to do this again, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Reach out after a while, and hopefully this whole thing goes well. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing, brother, and I will definitely stay in touch. And
sounds good.
Just proud of you, man. Everything's going good for you. You do good work.
Thank you.
Hopefully people appreciate it, and hopefully you get out and I want to see I want to see you challenged. I want James Maynard Keenan to reach out from Tool and be like, I want you to come up with a concept for this song.
That does sound like a challenge.
Dude.
But I'm sure
you can pull it off, though.
I'll do something weird.
Figure it out. All right, Mike Sloat here with Deviant Downtime. Thanks for the time, brother. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Good to talk to you.